Hello everyone, and welcome to the first 2025 stream of Drawing with Kuro. I'm Kuro the artist, and this is Drawing with Kuro. Could you have guessed? So just to get this out of the way, yeah, we have put out a new logo on some of our socials and stuff. It's not final. I just felt like we've been using the same one for quite some time, so this is me experimenting a little bit. Whether or not this stays, I guess time will tell. But even if we did keep this, I'd probably do one final polished version of it. But as y'all can see above me, we have a damaged Petrosapien commission. So the way this is going to work is it's a commission that's an OC, but it's a Petrosapien species. Based on, so my criteria from the commissioner is it's a D&D campaign with a Gladiator style outfit, sort of like the Omniverse design for Diamondhead. And in their continuity, Ben's Petrosapien form Diamondhead is the only one that can regenerate. So standard Petrosapiens have to repair themselves with some type of adhesive, much like the example picture above. That's actually something they sent me. So I'm going to be drawing a Petrosapien Gladiator that has some of these cracks interwoven in between. And that's about it. If you've seen any of our posts on our community page, you'll know that we, for one, are still on an upload hiatus. That's going to be continuing throughout the month of January, as much as I can help it. And in the meantime, I'm potentially going to be streaming more. I put out a little poll. If I were to do some additional streams on the weekends, what would be the best time? It's seeming like between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. EST seems to be the optimal time for most of our viewers, but these streams are always kept on the channel more often than not. So if you don't catch them live, you can still catch them afterwards. But there's potential I will be streaming more on the weekends, so please keep checking our socials or our announcements or anywhere else once that's officially locked in. And also in the meantime, we are doing the Breakdown event part 2. Hold on a second, we have a little chat coming in. Oh, I thought it was going to read it out. But it's from Elizabeth Susan. How's it going? Frequent chat contributor. Thank you for joining us. It says, sup, the new logo is cool, but it did catch me off guard when I first saw it. Was so used to the old logo since it was used for years. I agree, yeah, it is quite the change.
Hey Kuro, how's it going?
Oh.
How come there was no December 27th stream revealed?
Well, all of those, welcome to the stream, by the way. I actually just answered. But quick recap, we are on a hiatus. That included the stream for 2 weeks just to catch up on things, and we will continue our hiatus through January, unless something comes up. And I will be doing some bonus streams. But yeah, without further ado, let's just dive on in. Oh yes, and check the Rust Bucket channel to participate in the Breakdown event, where you can leave any comments or critiques on the breakdowns or just any of our videos in general. It is based around the breakdowns, but we can accept feedback from anything. But it has to be commented on that video specifically for it to be valid. Any announcements or anywhere else where we've mentioned the Breakdown event, if you comment on those posts, it doesn't count. It has to be commented on the official Breakdown announcement video. But yeah, let's dive in. The Petrosapien Gladiator with damaged attributes. It's been a while since I've drawn an OC. Last one I did, an alien transformation OC, was Jafred, I think. That wasn't too long ago, but I am primarily drawing original aliens on this stream. But this does help diversify the broadcast quite a bit. And even so, Jafred was technically from the canon continuity, or at least the idea was. Basically, if Simeon was telling the truth, that there was some type of arachnachimp prince. Whereas this is, as far as I can tell, a 100% original character for this Commissioner's D&D campaign. So, no idea what it's going to look like. There was no reference drawings either, just some information. So we're going to be finding out together as we go how this is going to turn out. I always end up drawing too big at the start. All these years, and I'm still not used to. Used to optimizing my canvas area. Alright, and let me get the chats open as well. What will this alien be named? I don't think they actually gave me a name for this character, just that it's for their D&D campaign. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think this character has a name, or if they do, they didn't tell me. So that's all part of the fun. All part of the magic. I know for sure I want to give it one of those big gladiator style belts. They're almost like wrestling belts. But let's make it look a little bit more alien. Throwing in some different angles there, not going entirely just Earth-based gladiator. We do want to make sure it seems just slightly alien, you know, a little bit. Unless their campaign takes place on Earth and this Petrosapien arrived on Earth to be a gladiator. That's the fun thing about D&D. You can pretty much do anything with it.
If Diamondhead's species wasn't called Petrosapien, what would you call it?
I don't think I would change it. I think Petrosapien does the job. Rock person. You know? I think it's a pretty solid name. I don't think it needs a rework. So let's just finish getting those shapes in there. But also thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. But usually if I was going to come up with a species, I'd look into like different languages and stuff and try to take different influences. Latin's a given. Ben 10's very much embedded their sources primarily in Latin. I also like I know Ryan likes to look into Esperanto. I've looked at you know, different developments of Spanish before. I have taken influence from Arabic. From I think one transformation I used like a French word, so. Or even so, like, you could just make up, like, a whole name entirely for it. You can be like, these are called the Squiggle Knots from planet Florbenium or something. Like, it doesn't have to have any type of language-based origin. It's usually just easier, too, and it gives you something to connect the language with. I like him having a bit of a wider body. You see here? Because he's a gladiator, I imagine they're pretty beefy. In fact, I kind of want to lower that torso a little bit.
So,
get that down there.
with Ben 10's 20th anniversary on the horizon, I'm assuming you guys will be hosting a huge event to celebrate 20 years of the franchise. Or, will it depend on how your schedule is around that time? Considering if Five will be finished around that time or not.
I believe you pretty much answered it. Yeah, I mean, it almost feels mandatory for us to kind of do something for the 20th. You know, we've been doing something special once a year in varying degrees. Sometimes we do streams, sometimes it's just, you know, elaborate videos or posts. But the 20th, that's a big one. So I imagine, you know, we're going to try to do something. I always have some back burner ideas in mind for special things we could do. But nothing concrete, but we do have...
It's my birthday, so I hope you're having as good a day as I am.
We do have practically a year to figure that out. And I am having a great day. Happy birthday, Apocalypse. And thank you for swinging by on your birthday. I'm happy to spend... I'm happy you're spending your time on your birthday over here on Drawing with Kuro. First stream of the year. Let's get a happy birthday in the chat for Apocalypse, everybody.
Welcome aboard.
And welcome aboard.
Happy
blah, blah.
birthday, Lizzie.
Thank you for the donation, and also that's Elizabeth Susan shouting out Apocalypse for her birthday. Thank you again for joining, all of you. It's very nice to have some company as I do these commissions. I think I'm gonna need to... Let's just throw him in here a little bit. I kind of want to see him on screen. Just get a little bit of a stronger reference. Since they did specify they want this to resemble Omniverse Diamondhead, I do want to lean into that a little more. You can see, you know... I don't want him to have the exact same body shape, though.
Welcome aboard.
Since this is not, in fact, a Diamondhead. But it should resemble it a little bit closer, you know? Pay respects to the desires of the commissioner. Get those wider legs in there. Yeah. Really beef those bad boys up. Alright. What is my heritage and country of origin? It's been so long since I've arrived on planet Earth, I don't really remember much of my origins. I remember the skies being purple, though. That's about as much as I remember. But other than that, you know, it was a 3-year trip, and spent a lot of time. I remember the metal walls of the ship a lot more than my origin location. And then upon arriving on Earth, you know, it is what it is. There we go. Yeah, big beefy guy. Maybe even having a Gladiator shield already formed from the Petrosapien crystal. Get those fingies in there. Would this Petrosapien have shoes? I think I would give it shoes just to give it more Gladiator attributes. Because you know, Gladiators don't wear a lot of clothing. Most of them, from what I can tell, are topless, sans a sash or a cape. So, you know, you need some elements in there to give them that, enough of that Gladiator feel or whatever influence or costume you're trying to give them. I forgot how fucking long Diamondhead's arms are in Omniverse. Yeah, they got the length to them. Good for close combat too. You know, he can get his swings in while still protecting his core. And also, that's just the classic Omniverse art style. I think to emphasize the damagedness of him, I'm gonna make one of his back spikes broken. I know he can repair himself, but maybe like the material they use to do that repair is expensive, and he figured, you know, I'd rather reattach my arm than a spike behind myself. He's got that big head there. Now, I'm not exactly trying to mimic the Omniverse art style here. But I do feel like...
It actually is an official Petrosapien Gladiator, in the online fighting game Final Clash. He looks like a Diamondhead with a yellow shirt and a hood, though. And get this, his name is Kuro.
Huh. thank you for the donation, by the way. And that's interesting. Let me see if I could find that. Final Clash Ben 10. That should be enough, right? Not too much references off of Google, but I'm gonna leave this tab open. I can check it out after the stream.
How many hairstyles did you had?
Thank you for the donation, and I could not count. It's always just something I do randomly. I've talked a little bit about this before in a couple of streams, but I've just always been switching up my hair throughout my life, and I never really thought about it. It was never like with intention, like today I'm gonna do this, tomorrow I'm gonna do that. It's just like whatever I'm feeling or whatever's most convenient. And then, you know, doing breakdowns throughout the years, you know, having people watch me on a week-to-week basis, they've noticed. And I guess I never really realized how much I did it until other people started pointing it out. So I do it kind of intentionally for my videos, just because I know people are watching and I like to switch it up a bit and keep them on their toes. But generally, I don't even really think about it. I'd have to guess, like, if I had to give you a number, unironically, probably at least 60. And that's talking my whole life, not just since, like, the YouTube channel. I've had quite an assortment of hairstyles. I don't even think I've had in videos just because of, you know, experimentation. And, endlessly trying to find a look that makes me feel like me. You know, I want to look in the mirror and be like, that's Rob Orpilla. That's what he looks like. And I feel like I don't really have a hairstyle that looks like me, that makes me feel like myself. I've had other people tell me what hairstyles remind them most of me, but I guess I don't feel the same way. But I don't really feel that way about any hairstyle. I feel like I can look like anything or have any hair or this and that, and it's never gonna truly feel like that's the one. This is the one I'm gonna stick with for life. So, until I find one, this is just what I'm gonna be doing. Maybe forever. Okay, I think we got a good basis. Now I think it's time to start thinking about his design. Now the way I drew these, it kind of looks like trunks. This shape right here, it's not. It's supposed to be a belt, but the belts are just so thick and low. They do very much resemble trunks. So let's see what we can do about defining it a little bit more. Rob Orpilla. Orpilla sounds Hispanic or Latino. I could be completely wrong, and I'm sorry if I did. No, it's all good. I mean, it is. I do have a Filipino and Puerto Rican in my blood from one side of my family. A lot of areas around the world, you know, people would pronounce it Orpilla. In fact, I remember one time in 5th grade, my history teacher.
New year, new greeting. Mustard.
Thank you for the donation, Joe. We got a mustard in the chat. But yeah, I had a teacher. It was even younger than that, maybe 3rd grade. They were telling me I was pronouncing my last name wrong, and they would get upset when I said Orpilla. And I'm like, look, it's my name, okay? I can say it however I want. And my dad says Orpilla, and it was his name, so I'm just gonna go with that. Everywhere else, you know, they can say Orpilla if they'd like to. I can be Robert Orpilla, or I could be Roberto Orpilla. It doesn't really matter. Now, does it? At least I don't think so. Let's see, I want to put some type of emblem right here. I'll come back to it. Mustard! That's right. Why would a teacher say that? That's messed up, man. I don't know. Some people just... they feel like they really gotta let you know what they're thinking sometimes, even when it's inappropriate, and that's how they live their lives. Only thing you could really do is choose to be like them or choose to be different. But I mean, I've worked in childcare and many jobs prior to this, and you know, sometimes kids could just be trying to mess with you. So perhaps she thought I was just trying to be a bit sly and be like, no, it's Orpilla, what are you talking about? You know, maybe she thought she was doing the right thing. Okay, so these aren't... I was kind of drawing them Wonder Woman style, where they overlap into each other, but it seems like most gladiators, these little drapes have actual separations. And then there's a grand cloth underneath. Am I going to make a cool poster for the finale of 5YL? Potentially. I mean, that's all but confirmed. That definitely seems like something I would do. But as of right now, I'm not like... It's not in my schedule to make sure it happens yet. But more than likely, I'm probably going to do something like that. Those in-between cloths there. Let's give it a little loop. Just add some definition. I don't know, I feel like the straight line just looks wrong, but that is what I'm seeing. Alright. Let's see. In fact, you know what? Let's change these to little crystals. I'll draw them a little bit more effectively with perspective consideration in mind for the final. But for now, yeah, crystals, you know? Just that little touch of alien heritage interwoven. We can even do like, I don't know, some type of crystal gladiator thing right here. He really doesn't have a name. They never told me his name. Nope, no name. I'm gonna search Gladiator logo. Maybe take some inspiration. Maybe just something like... something like this, you know? And we can even put that again up here. Actually, let's make it diamond. There. Again, we'll make this cleaner when the time comes for that. Will all living beings one day drink water from jugs?
Check the Rust Bucket chat to take a glance for Kuros from Final Clash.
Thank you for the donation, and I will check that. The Rust Bucket chat in the Discord. Oh yeah, there he is. I like the hood.
Delight's face since he's Jim Jesus. Lol.
Thank you, Joe. But no, I gotta stick to what they ordered. But yeah, back to the drinking water question. It was probably a joke, but it's funny because Yvonne and I were just talking about that. How every year more and more of like the water on Earth is being bottled or encased in like jugs or fish tanks and stuff like that. And it seems minimal, but it is affecting. It's why we have less rain, less snow. And if you think about it, you know, the water can't evaporate, and there is a finite amount of water on Earth. It's just there's so much water. We don't think about it, but I mean, you know, we're starting to see some evidence that like maybe we should stop bottling up all our frickin' water. You know? That can't be good. It isn't good. There's even some people out there that like if they see water bottles in trash or something, they'll go out of their way to empty it just to make sure it goes back into the natural cycle. Here we got his diamond pecs, but it's interesting to think about. Yeah, More water is bottled than ever before and will continue to be bottled, thus chipping away at the water cycle little by little. But no one's gonna care until it's irreversible. Such is life. They'll just be like, oh hey man, that sucks, and then go out and buy a bottle of water.
Finished Arcane today. I want more of it. Thoughts?
Thank you for the donation, and I have not seen Arcane, so I have no thoughts. And another shout out says, can I just say that Kuro's hair from the intro of the first Alien Force breakdown looked so good and suited him well with the beard. Thank you, although I don't even remember what I looked like then. I kind of just film whatever I look like. What would that be? Ink Tank, Alien Force breakdown. From the intro? Oh yeah, I slicked it back that time. That's neat. Yeah, that's a neat look. My hair is far too long to do that again. But if I ever cut it again, you know, that'll be in the cards. But yeah, no, right now I've been very lazy with my beard. I think this is the longest I've gone without shaving, maybe ever. As far as I can tell. I haven't shaved it since I did drag in October. So we're going on month number 3. Which is pretty gnarly. Oh, what's up, Xander Flicks? Thank you for the appreciation on the new profile picture. Trying something new, you know? New year, new me, and all that. Y'all go support Xander Flicks if you haven't already. A lot of cool stuff there. Over on the Flick channel. Get your flick on. Let's see. Well, it's interesting because we've never really seen a Petrosapiens like exposed abdomen before, so we're kind of just winging it here. But I think this is doing the job all right. Now, should we give him a helmet? I think there's a world where a helmet could work, but I'm also afraid of covering up too many features. You know, kind of the exciting part of the Petrosapien is to see the Petrosapien. But I mean, we do see his whole ass chest, diamond nipples sticking out and everything, so maybe we can get away with a helmet. Let's try it and see what happens. Can even put a little diamond right here on the front. No, that kind of makes it look like a crown. We're not making a crown. We'll just go down. And then we'll go up. Like so. Maybe even, hold on, I think I got something. Maybe even a spike like this as like a leading spike for the rest of the helmet. And what we'll do is you know, imagine this is feathers. So it's all led by this here spike. Almost like a bat crystal. And of course, give him a little scar. Music name. I'm just listening to the most popular releases on the Epidemic Sound playlist. Currently, Pulse of Healing by Rand Aldo is playing. The one before was called The Lotus River, also by Rand Aldo, A-L-D-O, Rand Aldo, The Lotus River. So that's that. On Twitch it says I earned the hype chest. Open to see your reward. Do I have to do this right now? What does this do? It's a dog? Oh, it's a little dog animation. That's cute. Can any of y'all see that? Share. Did I do it? Alright. That's something. Neat. I like little surprises like that. Alrighty. Yeah, pretty good. So far, so good. Gladiator shoes. So they wear sandals a lot, but like I kind of want to avoid drawing an exposed Petrosapien foot if I can help it, because what would that look like? Is it a solid mass? Are there toes? I don't care enough to find out. I'm giving him a full boot. Boot time. Rule 1 of drawing. If you don't want to draw it, hide it. I'm not ready to commit to Petrosapien foot anatomy, so I'm not gonna. What do y'all think? Even if I were to draw it.
Happy 2025, Mr. the Artist.
Toes or stubs? And thank you. Happy 2025 to you too, Kenham, and happy birthday to Kenham as well. Let's get up in there. Alright. Just really define those fingers. Now, what are we gonna do here? Belt straps? I feel like, you know, belt straps would fit the look, but if you think about the practicality, can you imagine a Petrosapien with their big blocky hands trying to buckle their shoes? Like they're trying so hard, but they can't. They gotta get assistance every time. It's actually kind of funny if you think about it. I don't know. I'm not sure this design needs that much limiting logic put into it. Do I have any tips on drawing Diamondhead? I didn't do it on this stream, but that's because I've drawn Diamondhead a couple of times. I just needed a reference for the Omniverse version, but typically look at his full model sheet, especially if you're trying to design a character that's going to be drawn multiple times, because Diamondhead has some pretty tricky angles, especially with his shoulders. His shoulders are very oddly shaped, especially Classic Series Diamondhead. UAF Diamondhead figured out a pretty good shape method for it, which Omniverse in turn improved on slightly.
Happy New Year, indeed. Not with a good start to the year, but hey, having finals are cool. Group theory and vector spaces will always be awesome.
Nice. I'm happy to hear any positive enforcement, especially on something like education. You know, it's hard to be positive about it, but if you got the mindset that helps you get through it, all the power to you. You know, it can be hard to commit to something like that. Very tricky indeed. But if you got the chops, then bite down hard, Missy. I'm kind of just saying shit right now. Okay. You know, even though they do have super long arms, I feel like these are a bit too long. Just like 10, maybe even 13% too long. Let's see if we can do something about that. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? Alright. Now, for my final trick, we're gonna figure out where we're gonna put these cracks. So we had that vase as an example. Let's do one here. Like his whole arm had to be repaired. We can do a big one on the arm. Just because not a lot's going on with the arm anyways. We might as well try to squeeze out a little bit more detail. And I imagine it's not a flawless procedure, so maybe there's even a chunk right here that they couldn't find after whatever battle took place. So they just had to repair it as is, you know. There'll be a bit of an exposed pattern here. We can even just do regular scars similar to what I did with his face. You know, little crevice in there, broken. Couple snags right here. He's seen some shit. He's been in the wars. Maybe his arm was also broken off here. This could have been the first time they tried repairing him this way, so it's a bit of a sloppy mess. You know, there's some loose goo there. And of course with his shield we can do a couple of buffs there. He probably remakes the shield every time, though. He doesn't have to keep reusing the shield, but for the sake of the artwork, let's put some damage in there. And then, of course, you know, a nice slice on the pec. You gotta have the pec slice, right? And some on his abs. I think this looks pretty solid. What do y'all think, folks? I think we're ready. Would I use Chroma Stone for the undersurface? I don't think so. I think that implies a different method in which he's repairing himself. That would contrast this design.
Have an amazing evening. See ya.
Thank you for the donation, and I will see you. I'll see you around, hopefully. Hopefully you'll come back through again. Alright, now, I was gonna take the advantage of this not being a commission alien and draw this in my sketchy style to avoid, you know, the usual restrictions I have with such style. But he also looks like a character that would benefit from me doing it Wiki style. So I think I'll just commit to it. And do it that way. Especially since I will be doing colored line work for the crystal parts. So swapping between the two would at least be slightly cleaner in the Wiki style as opposed to my natural art style. Oh shit, this is fucking good. What is this? Power Trip by Dillian Kington. Straight going in the Drawing with Kuro playlist. Excellent. Alright. Now I am going to color sample from 5YL Diamondhead. That's the color outline I use. I want to use it. I want something a little bit darker. There we go. Power Trip, what a coincidence. Yeah, I know, right? That's actually kind of dope. Also, I noticed how you drew guidelines to even out the feet. This is something I always forget to implement with my work.
Yeah, it's a way to try to avoid getting that super floaty feel. You know, knowing where your character stands. Pun intended. And especially if they're standing at some type of angle, you actually do want two separate lines because one foot will be closer than the other. So if you're going to do that, don't just draw one flat line. Unless that's the angle you're going for. You know, certain angles you'd only need one. This specific angle, it helps to see the differences in which the feet lie. Welcome. Welcome to the stream.
Forgot to mention, and thank you again, Elizabeth, but really glad that Sucker Punch got a newly drawn Wiki still. He still looks good. Ah, yes, so if,
Forgot to mention it, but really glad that Sucker
there's the
Punch
voice.
got a newly drawn Wiki still. He looks so good.
The voice skipped it a few times, right? Okay, it read it that time. Yeah, so I drew Sucker Punch for a Patreon/YouTube membership stream. If you are a patron or YouTube member, or if you join right now, you can see the stream in which that happened. OR Ash joined me as well, doing a little bit of artwork himself. But we didn't post. I kind of wanted to just post it via the chat suggestions and see if anybody even noticed. Like, how long can it be up there before people really start taking note that Sucker Punch got a new still? Every now and then we'd like to do something like that. Just do something and not say anything. And wait and see if anybody finds it without announcing it. But yeah, there's a new Sucker Punch still. Now, he was a fun one to do because I haven't redrawn him in the Wiki style since 2017. 2017. So he was an ancient grandpa to the Ink Tank community that recently got a new set of sea legs. Has Ash ever said something sus in front of you on stream or video? Maybe, but I'm not easily phased. So like he could have, and I just like didn't notice or care. But I mean, we all kind of push each other's buttons every now and then. So nothing that would have ever actually made me go, whoa, man. Or else I would have remembered it. Welcome. Ugh. Sucker Punch has a fresh look. I gotta see. That's right, weird fool. And that's his username, by the way. I'm not insulting. Yeah, you weird fool. You didn't notice that Sucker Punch had a new still, you freaking dingus. You weird fool. Yes, he does have new artwork. I'll probably make an official post about it. Damn, this is a hard line. I'll probably make an official post about it soon. Maybe even just after this stream. I don't know if I'll finish this guy on stream. Probably not. Most likely not. But I feel like I can get pretty far with this guy. This song has got major 2017 vibes. This song is called With You by DeLorean, like the car, from Forward to the Past. But you know what? I do kind of want the, yeah.
Alright, now how should I draw these feathers? Should I kind of draw them as like a mass that's all pressed together? Or should I go forward and draw each individual feather? I'm not sure yet. I'm just gonna not do it right now and see how I feel once the rest of the drawing is coming in. Yeah, let's just make them thick. Alright. Do you think Koizen will get an update? Koizen, now that's another throwback. Maybe. I'm not gonna lie, when I did the Patreon stream, I was gonna have people vote if I did Sucker Puncher Koizen, but then I figured with the release of the Drawing Matrix that just came out, which covered Gax, it just seemed right to do a Sucker Punch anyways and not even bother with the poll. So he has been on my mind. It's not completely out of the question. But there are no plans so far. No plans for a new Koizen. But he was one of the first original 5YL aliens I did too, that I recall. I remember the day I came up with him. I was actually in a meeting at one of my old jobs. And I was drawing him on the back of the agenda. Can Koizen fly or be out of water? No, he cannot. He is very much water dependent. When's the next episode of 5YL dropping? This year, definitely. We are working on the next few episodes, hence the hiatus. As of now, I can't really give any major updates other than patrons and YouTube members will be seeing a significant update / announcement in the upcoming video diary this week. I made quite a bit of progress on it already. All the remaining episodes, 12, 13, and 14, that I'm very excited to share with you all. But as of right now, it's not substantial enough to go public with it. But if you are a patron or a member, you can get a pretty nice little peek into what's to come. Let's see. Nah, I was gonna shrink this down. This part right here, to add the triangle on top of that down there too, but I'm not gonna. In fact, I don't even want that line there, yeah. I'll just do some thickness like this. Do I want lines here? Nah. Dude be spoiling us members. I try. You know, y'all are funding the project, so I feel like I want it to seem worth it to you. You know, your financial support is nothing to gawk at. In the most literal sense, we could not be doing it without your financial support. So, you know, I'm happy to give out updates as much as I can, and, you know, the video diaries, the exclusive streams, all of that fun stuff. You know, if you're happy with the rewards, then I'm happy to give them to you. How would I redesign the Corruptura? The Omniverse design looks so basic. I'd probably base it off of that a little bit and just try to come up with a little bit more, fun details with it. I like the bat, the eye. I like the idea of it. Maybe some type of, like, some type of clear method in which it latches onto you. Almost like Darkstar's mouth hands. Something like that. Maybe a different shape than just a diamond, and make the wings look a little bit creepier. I think it just needs to look creepier. Like, it kind of looks like a silly little guy. And, you know, with something as horrifying as mind control, I think there's different ways we can play into the horror of that. Given he is a horror alien too, you know. Nothing wrong with aliens being cute, but when the point is they're supposed to be horror based, it wouldn't hurt if they looked a little more horrific. You know what I mean? Check my DMs after the stream. I do not check my DMs often, I'm sorry to say. If this is about a commission or a video project, you can email me with the information linked down below. But I just want to be transparent that my DMs are not an efficient way to contact me. I want more and beyond. That's coming too. We got a really fun episode planned to wrap up the Zascare arc, and then a nice return to form, in which we will be exploring the universe with good old Horus. There we go. That's something. Does the Zascare arc end with Horus cooking meth? I am gonna have to come down on you for spoilers. Please do not spoil the end. You know, we've worked really hard on trying to get Bryan Cranston to cameo in The and Beyond and keep it a surprise. But if you're just gonna go ahead and spoil it, then yeah, sure. Horus does indeed cook meth at the end of the episode, so, you know. Surprise ruined. Perhaps they should have similar origin points. Do we have context for this drawing, or is it just Diamondhead Gladiator because it's cool? I don't have a lot of context. I just know this is for someone's D&D campaign, and the idea is that they can't regenerate in this continuity other than Ben's Diamondhead form. So they meld themselves together in a similar method in which you see the vase on screen does. And it, you know, it's a gladiator for a D&D campaign. I don't even know this character's name. But yeah, not a lot of context, but it does have a purpose. I do want a little bit of unevenness there. Can we only do commissions if we're members? No, anyone can commission me. You can commission me with the link down below in the description of this video. And it tells you anything and everything you need to know. But if you still have additional questions, please feel free to shoot me an email and we can discuss this further. But anybody can commission me. Open for business. Whoa, I just saw 2 different accounts send the exact same message. That's pretty wild. What's up, Time Lord Artist? An Exorcist Angel transformation from Hasbin Hotel I'm calling Heaven Sent. That's an awesome name. And based on your username, I do feel like I understand that reference. In the name, at least. I've yet to see Hasbin Hotel, so I'm not familiar with Exorcist Angels, but I am familiar with Doctor Who. One of Capaldi's finest, if I do say so myself. Water time. I'm sending my own hydration check. Oh my god, I got a hydration check. I didn't hear the sound though. I think that's still something I have to reset up. But naturally I wanted one anyways, but I'm honoring the hydro check. Thank you. Who do you think would be a good doctor? See, that's the thing
that I've been always going back and forth on is I feel like I know a lot of actors who would absolutely nail it based on the flavors of the Doctor that we have. You know, at least back in the day, a common fan cast was Christopher Lloyd. I'm not sure he's up for a big project like that anymore. You know, something that fits the mold of like what you'd expect the Doctor to be. But I also feel like the fun of the Doctor is they can be anyone. You know, they can be anything, they can act like anything, they could be their own person. So I feel like if there's a solid enough story and a solid enough idea, an actor might surprise me. Like, you can even say, and this is just a throwaway example, they could probably write a version of the series that would be phenomenal with Chris Pratt as the Doctor even. Like, you can really go off the rails with Doctor Who, as long as there's reason and there's foundation. But, you know, and I kind of would like to see something a little new. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of actors that can certainly fill the same shoes. But what if we got a new pair? Tom Holland as the Doctor. See, y'all are joking, but imagine like 20 years from now, Tom Holland actually becomes the Doctor, and it's super different, but it's one of the most amazing seasons of Doctor Who you've ever seen. Like, wouldn't that blow your mind? Genuinely? And Doctor Who is a show that can certainly do that. It absolutely could. That's why I love it. More than likely, it wouldn't work, though. Let's be real. But if someone really cared that much and got the role of showrunner and really, really wanted Tom Holland to be the Doctor and make it work, they could probably make it work. They really could. That's why Doctor Who is so fun. Alright. Looking neato supremo so far, huh? We getting somewhere with this? I believe so. I think the key is also making it look a bit uneven too. You know, with Heat Blast, it's kind of a given that you want to make sure the creases and everything are perfect. But look, you see, you know, rocks right here overlapping into each other, very exposed fragments here. You know, bits of goop seeping through, because this is a repair job. This isn't like natural to the species, so we do want to kind of make it look a little haphazard and artificial. I think it's important to emphasize this is not like this Petrosapien was not born this way. This Petrosapien has never heard Lady Gaga before, probably never will. They're never gonna get the emotional liberation that she could give him. And that's unfortunate. But you know, somebody's gotta fight the good fight for the gladiators. Do I have any tips for designing a Pyronite? I'm planning on designing a Pyronite OC. You know, I really don't think I do. No, I'm not sure what guidance I can give for drawing a Pyronite specifically. Other than colored outlines go a long way. Don't use black outlines for the fire. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Pyronites you can pretty much do whatever with, and they're gonna look cool. Just because of the nature of the Pyronites, it's pretty hard to mess up a Pyronite. So, you know, just have fun with it, I guess. It's my first time on stream. Well, welcome, guy with a pencil. Thanks for coming on board drawing with Kuro. Alright. Now we're getting somewhere. We got that arm down. Do I have any tips for publishing any comics? Because I'm starting my own. I do not, as I have not published a comic before. All of my stuff I just upload directly online through myself. From what I can gather from people who I know who have done that, I would say the best way to do that is to find an agent. Because it's more than just publishing, you know. Advertising is a huge thing too, and if you're gonna publish through a company, an agent would really help with that. But other than that, I have no experience in publishing comics. Do I have any tips for writing motivation? Not great ones either. I don't believe so. Sorry. Motivation, at least for me, is not something I've really struggled much with either. At least with productivity. You know, sometimes you get writer's block, this and that, but I never want to stop. Like, usually what I do, if I have writer's block or a lack of motivation, is I just find some way to be productive. Like, I won't just not work on it and go do something else and come back to it. I'll find something I can work on. What can you do? Could you do the cover? Can you do the character sheets? Can you do something? Just always be doing something. Never step away from the project entirely if you're struggling with motivation. That's not going to help you. Just find a way to work on the project outside of what you're struggling with. Even with drawing. Like, if you're drawing something and you're having a hard time drawing it, at least for me, and this is my own personal experience, don't just stop and do something else. Just draw something else. Draw another part of it. If you're stuck here, draw this part. If you're stuck on this page, draw the other page. If you're stuck on the eyes, draw the feet. Just keep doing something. Stay productive, stay proactive. Eventually you'll figure it out. Check every single box, and eventually you'll be boxed into a corner where that's the only thing left. The only thing left you have to do is that one thing that you've been avoiding and running from the whole time. And then you have to do it. And then once you're faced with that, then at least for me, it comes a lot easier. That's how I operate. Stepping away and doing something else doesn't really solve much. It just delays productivity. Any new merch on the way? I have some ideas for some when we officially end the hiatus. But I'm open to suggestions if there's anything you want to see. I got like 3 designs I've been thinking about. But feel free to shoot me an email if you're like, look, this is gonna be the coolest thing ever. You have to make this merch. But I got some things cooking. But as of right now, we're not uploading, so no reason to start pushing merch. You know what? Let's actually give it a little bit of a boop boop. You know what I mean? Boop boop. Yeah. Yeah, see? Just a little bit of thickness with some of these lines too. Just a little bit. A wee bit. What's the difference between sketching in books with a pencil and sketching on an iPad? Smoothing and texture. You don't have any of that grit that you have when drawing traditionally. It's all like a screen. It's actually tricky, at least it was for me to get used to, feeling nothing underneath my pencil. And also, you know, smoothing is a very helpful tool, which is, you know, how much of a delay there is with your cursor following behind your stylus or your mouse. Kind of want to squish this up a little bit. Oops.
Yeah. And then... I feel like I'm being brainwashed. There we go. It's pretty good. Don't wait to be motivated to do something. Just start. Absolutely, Anthony. I completely agree with that philosophy. There's never a perfect time for anything. $321. Yeah, we aren't finishing this bad boy on stream, huh? That's all right. We're making it pretty far. Pretty good progress, if I do say so myself. But Kuro isn't even checking chat, El Kuro. Aw, my feelings. No, I just don't like to read every single message. This is a drawing stream after all. If I spent too much time answering each and every question, then this commission would never get done. Balancing priorities is a very important part of making art. It's a part of the art. There we go, that sloppy gold texture. We still got to do his feathers and his back spikes too. But I'll get to those. So this is what I was talking about. I'm not sure how I want to do the feathers or the back spikes. So instead of just endlessly doing it and erasing, coming back to it, and then giving up, I'm just drawing what I know how to do, which is the arms. So I'm staying productive while also, quote unquote, taking a break from it. So I have a character I just sketch for fun. Yes, but I'll never post it publicly, because once it's online, it's not fun anymore. Maybe one day y'all will see my secret mystery character, but only when I'm ready to sacrifice the amusement. What's inside a Petrosapien? Maybe like hard candy gusher? I imagine just more crystal. Or like, you ever seen the 2005 Fantastic Four?
At least I think it's that one where they x-ray him and you see all of his organs are still rocky. The Thing Fantastic Four X-ray. Or even like, actually, this is even better, this comic page right here. I imagine it's something like this, where it's like they still have to have some type of organ structure, but it's like primarily rock-like. But yeah, this is what I was thinking of at first. Did I ever consider what Ghost Freak's true form looks like in 5YL? Yes. Yes, I did. Mostly because when we were designing Zascare for And Beyond, I figured it'd have to resemble that. So that wouldn't be too far off. But of course, they'd have their differences. Like, I wouldn't put the hood there. I'd probably give him a different head shape, just to emphasize it's a different being. But more or less, it would look like, it would have a lot of the same attributes as how Zascare does in And Beyond. More brainwash music. Alright, I think it's time to select a legitimate playlist. Let's call this one's Heavyweights.
I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. The crash came when the cash came, spend it for you get it like those rookies all on draft day. For the love like it's match game, hit the ground running, really do it for my last name. They act different when the facts change.
See you, Christian. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Excuse me.
I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. Now how could that be? Talking about who can be talking about me. Feeling like stretch when I got all this reach. Feeling too blessed when I step on these beats. Now how could that be? I could beat the pressure, I could beat the 2-3. Jab, jab, hook, then I duck and I weave. It was never you, it was me versus me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter.
The shield shouldn't be too tricky. It's essentially just an extension of himself.
The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. Better get some, swinging for the fences, I might leave it in the sun.
I like to think with this character, he just makes one shield, and he carries it as long as he can before he creates another one, as like a testament of his durability and honor. Because he could just make a new shield every battle, or even a new shield every move, if he really wanted to. But maybe he forms one shield, and he's like, how long can I keep this one before it shatters, and I have to reform it? Just curious, are there going to be Ben 10 reboot breakdowns? Alright everyone, take a shot. It was asked. Yes, to put it simply. I'm just joking. No, it's just... Damn, what's happening? That gets asked once a stream, so I'm always, you know, it's inevitable. But yes, I've been saying for years there will be. Oh. Gotta pop all my fingies. You're here forever, Kuro. Probably. I mean, the past 200 years haven't been so bad, but this is my 4th body, so I'm starting to get used to it. Am I okay? Of course. I'm always okay. I'm okay, KO. Man, where's Levi? Am I gonna make a video with Adam again? Maybe eventually. There's no plans, but he's someone I feel like, you know, the door is always open. Whether I come up with something or he wants to reach out to me, either way. It's always a possibility, but right now there are no plans. But I love working with him, so. How did I start this new year? Good, not so good, or acceptable? It's been pretty good. Hung up some new shelves. That was good, you know, makes more space in the kitchen, so I have less to worry about being all over the counter when I'm cooking. Got some work done for a couple of projects that I got lined up, both for the ink tank and freelance stuff. And made some plans for next month, which are gonna be pretty interesting. I know it's all vague answers aside from the shelves, but yeah, that's all I really got to say. It's been pretty good so far. How well could my boy Acid Guy tie some shoes? He could probably tie them, but he'll be getting slime all over it, so he might not be the best person to ask if you needed your shoes tied.
Just to relax, yeah, more money now, yeah, more tax. Suited it now, don't worry about that. Boring, yeah, I've never been that. I get paid, bro, just to relax. Yeah, more money, but yeah, more tax. But suited it now, don't worry about that. Flexing, yeah, but your soul is empty. Dripping in diamonds, Fenty. Dripping in vibes, got plenty. Got the technique, yeah, like Jet Li. Ow, one little chop like pow. One little hit like wow. Living for the now, live for the sound. Nice for the dollar, but I'm making a pound, yeah. Worry about that. No, don't worry about that. Worry about that. Worry about that. Like, no, don't worry about that. Something. Worry about that. No, don't worry about that. Worry about that. Worry about that. Like, no, don't worry about that. Something real, something raw, not accidental. No, I'm sure you're not needed. Show you the door. What's that? Yeah, you sure? Yeah, that's a rental. Yeah, what a bore. Lying, nothing in the core. Buying. Yeah, what for? Do what I need to. Always sure. Something real, something raw, not accidental. No, I'm sure you're not needed. Show you the door. What's that? Yeah, you sure? Yeah, that's a rental. Yeah, what a bore. Lying,
cool.
Nothing in the core. Buying. Yeah, what for? But do what I need to. Always sure. Knocking in the door, knocking in it one time, knocking in the door. Always sure. Knocking in the door, one time, knocking in the door. Knock. Hello, something real, something raw.
Why are the Fulmini called Fulmini Dredge? Where did Dredge come from? You'd have to ask O.R. Ash, but essentially it's just to emphasize that these are just the Fulmini from the reboot in 5YL. They have a different history, they have a little bit of a difference with their lore, their powers, in a way. So I'm assuming it's just a way to separate it more, but only our Lord and Savior Ryan would be able to tell you. Any tips? This is a very tip-heavy stream, isn't it? Any tips for someone who wants to start to make the same as you, like a webcomic or just drawing? Just start. That's pretty much the best tip I can get, is just make something. Put it online. Don't wait till it's perfect. Don't wait until you've mastered your skills. Just start putting stuff out there and never stop. And whatever acclaim or criticism you get, just take it all as valid. If people don't like it, you know, see what they don't like and try to work on it. If people do like it, try to hone in on that. Or just do whatever you want, really. Just do something. That's the best advice I can give, is just do something. Don't wait. Waiting is the worst thing you can do. Oh, you know what? I'm drawing those hands differently. How does Diamondhead look? Again, why can't I click on this? Okay. You know, I actually kind of like the way I did it here more than over here. So, I'm going to try to weave that in a little bit. Yeah, and the place to be. Chipmunks up the NYC. Witch Doctor. Did I play Didion? No, I'm not sure what Didion is. I haven't played a lot of games. Oh, Didion Mario Kart. It was two separate things. No, I play Toad whenever I do play, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same vein. I haven't played a lot of Mario Kart regardless, but I like to play Toad when I can. I like how he goes like, ow! That's fun. Did I watch Sonic 3 or any plans on doing it? I'll probably wait till it comes to streaming at this point. I'm not like itching to see it, but I did watch the first two, so I feel like I might as well watch the third. But I've yet to find the time or the drive to go out and be like, I gotta go see this movie. So, you know, when it comes to streaming, I'll check it out. I heard it was pretty good though. I like Keanu Reeves. He's really fun to watch in different projects and films.
problem, stress-free living. Now I did my time, my mind was prison. Now the safest laced with plenty pages, bitch, I'm winning. Sick when you see me beat my curses, I deserve it. See me pushing down 580, heavy grinning. I could tell I know they mad, cause I know my purpose. I'm about my bag, cause I deserve it. I'm about my bag, and I know my purpose. Hands on the wheel, you can see me swerving. Could tell I'm about my bag, cause I know my purpose. I'm about my bag, cause I deserve it. I'm about my bag, and I know my purpose. Hands on the wheel, you can see me swerving. Tell I know.
What's up, my nigga? Heard you got that on you, you wicked. Heard you keep one hand on the switch. Heard you keep them racks on your fist. Paint the town shade of crimson. Ducked off, you stacking your milk.
I'm flipping sound for the jug, and I got that stack on secure. It's only bosses dropping knowledge in my sphere. It's fashion 101, it's not your style, it's out your tip.
Favorite creature commando. I don't know if I have one. I think they work best as the team that they are. I don't think they work without each other, at least for me. So I'm not really able to see any of them above the other. But season finale's this Thursday, isn't it? That's gonna be neat. Hopefully I'll be able to see it before it gets spoiled. Thoughts on GI Robot? He was cool. I liked his episode. I like how it flipped you on his head, and he's Sean Gunn, right? I like Sean Gunn. Who's my favorite voice actor? Diamondhead Classic to Omniverse? My favorite voice actor at Diamondhead is D. Bradley Baker. Huh. Yeah, he does do a pretty good job. Mine would probably still go to Jim Ward, though. And then I would probably rank... Who's Omniverse Diamondhead? Bowser? Who's Bowser? Let me check. Yeah, he is Bowser. Yeah, Bowser and D are about the same for me. But you can't be Jim Ward. Hi, Kuro. Hi, Justin. Thanks for tuning in. Happy to have you here. This is good. Playlist time. What app do I use for drawing? I use Photoshop because it comes with the Adobe package. Oh shit, is that a sitar? Oh. If I had to replace one member of the Alien Force 10 from the Omnitrix, which one would it be? I don't think I would. I think the Alien Force 10 is pretty dope. I mean, maybe like having Alien X not usable too often does kind of suck, but even so, I like the story around Alien X. So, I don't know. I'd probably just leave them as is. I don't think I'd swap any of them out.
Legend status, ask about the name. I've been putting in work, collecting, fuck the fame. Up in the stat while they watching the 10 in the game. Either you in it or just a critic, man, we ain't the same. I'm focused on making this history into my top 5. List is listing me. I never got an L on pass, this ain't no breeze. I had to make the work outlast. The bill of steam is different degrees. And know I do this here with the ease. It never been easy. Slim, just keep one up the sleeve. I saw a few that had the passion, succumb to the greed. But I keep forward here, the goal is near this song. It's more for ears that know what's still to come. I walked inside the fire, no weapon form. Then looked inside the eye, withstood the storm. But I know temptation waits for years and all. It's a lot of money on the line for this. If we get everybody jumping in the crowd. My partner said he probably put somebody in the ground for this. We used to talk about it, but I leave it now. Now I need $100,000 for my confidence. $100,000 for my confidence.
Oh yeah, I kind of like the little cracks in there. In fact, yeah. I don't want to overdo it, but I do kind of want more cracks around like this. Adds a little bit more to it.
That's why I'm elevating and constantly meditating. Gotta keep my mind right, not waiting on hindsight. I never sacrifice the art for the limelight. And don't surround with who only show the highlights. I spent 20-some years in the twilight, and I swear look a whole lot like the spotlight. Really, it's a lot of money on the line for this. If we get everybody jumping in the crowd. My partner said he probably put somebody in the ground for this. We used to talk about it, but I leave it now. Now I need $100,000 for my confidence. $100,000 for my confidence.
Yeah, I like that. Just little extra motifs, if you will. And you will. You have to. Damn, this is a dope playlist. I'm really liking all of this. What would I think if Keanu Reeves was cast as Ghost Freak in a Ben 10 movie or series? Either Zeke or Ben's transformation. I feel like he'd be better as like Zescare. Gives him a little bit more to do. But can Keanu even throw his voice like that? I'm not sure he'd be the best choice for a role like that.
So it'd be interesting to see. That's certainly for sure. That's for true. But why Keanu? You know what? I feel like going up like this could be fun. Which of Vilgax's designs do I think are the best and the worst? The best is certainly the cyborg one from the classic, like how he looked in Secrets. A close second would be Reboot Vilgax with the cape and the burn marks. All the others are kind of just the same to me. Well, 10,000 Vilgax is kind of dope too. Do I like Sugalite? I do. I think he was a pretty interesting idea. I don't necessarily know if he needs to come back to the show, or like if he should have. But he was good for his episode. I like the concept of there being, you know, something unique to the species. You know, whenever a species has like something special to it with a little bit more lore than just this is their planet, this is how they live, I think it's interesting. But on the contrary, it's only interesting because it's sparingly used. You know, if every single species had like, oh, this is our special cosmic lore that makes us so different from everybody else, like super different, and we have this whole amazing legacy in history, then it starts to be like, all right, man, now we're overdoing it a little bit. But Chromastone and Diamondhead, I feel like was a neat way to tie them together, and Sugalite being the crux of it all. It was pretty cool. So much for that upload hiatus. What do you mean we're still on upload hiatus? We didn't put out a video last Saturday, and we're not putting one out now or indefinitely. If I could play a Ben 10 villain in a live action movie, what villain would I be? Maybe an original one? I feel like I don't fit a lot of the existing Ben 10 roles. Maybe I could be Darkstar if you changed him up a little bit. I don't think there's any villain that I'm like a shoo-in for. I think it'd be fun to be someone like Vilgax or 6-6. Maybe when I'm much older, I could be Dr. Animo. That could be fun. But as of right now, I'm not sure I really fit the mold of any of the villains. Billy Billions? I could maybe try to give Billy Billions a shot. I mean, maybe before he gets de-aged? Or, I mean, he doesn't get de-aged, right? He gets trapped as a kid. Okay, so that wouldn't really work either. You'd like Darkstar, you'd have to change it a little bit. Maybe, like, after Billy Billions has been exposed to the Earth again, and he can grow up again more. I could try to do a good old Billy Billions. Channel my inner Aziz. Fistrick? Yeah, Fistrick would be fun to play. Fistrick would be a blast. I'd give Fistrick a shot. Bro. Just give me like 6 months to get frickin' swole as hell. You're like, hey Tennyson, bro. Why don't you use that Tetraman of yours and we can get in a lifting contest? If I win, I get to keep the Nosedians. You understand, bro? Then he turns into Grav Attack and makes me slap my booty, over and over again. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean it. Or Sublimino. Sublimino, maybe. Like, Sublimino. I'm not even gonna try it. I'm not Richard Horvitz. Maybe with a little bit of changes. Again, they'd never be one-to-one with the cartoon. I mean, me personally, I feel like I'd play anything if they asked me, because I would absolutely have fun doing it. But I don't know if I'd be doing the character justice. Teenage Animo? Sure. If in the live-action continuity, Animo is much younger, I'd give it a shot.
See you got minor bugs. See me, I got paper up. Watch me how I line it up. You know I've been
Kundo. Now would that be prosthetics or CG replacement for Kundo? Oh, look at that. We're reaching the end of our stream. So I'm gonna draw these little logos right here, and then we're gonna call it for today. And no video this week or for the rest of the month, most likely, unless we get a sponsor or something. But if you are a Patreon or a member, we have another stream coming on the 17th, and a video diary will be coming before that. I already shot a lot of footage of the next couple of episodes I've been working on for 5YL. It's gonna be really fun. But until then, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week and a great start to your 2025. And as always, keep it fizzy.